Breaking fire, do or die. Coco Gauff takes on world number one Aryna Sabalenka at WTA Finals. Let's go. In the charged air of the WTA Finals arena, a storm was brewing, one not conjured from clouds, but from destiny, rivalry, and the relentless heartbeat of champions. The stadium lights burned brighter than ever. The crowd pulsed like a living ocean, and the world watched with breath held tight. Tonight was not just a match. Tonight was a message, a battle cry, a declaration of who would rise and who would be broken. And at the center of this roaring tempest stood Coco Gauff, America's fearless prodigy turned powerhouse. 21 years old, armed with fire and grace, she walked onto the court with the swagger of a champion and the eyes of a lion ready to hunt. Across the net stood Aryna Sabalenka, world number one, an unstoppable force of raw aggression, precision, and thunder. A player who didn't just win matches. She consumed them, crushed them, bent them to her will. It wasn't just a semifinal. It wasn't just another showdown. This was do or die. The arena of destiny. The crowd erupted as Coco stepped into the spotlight. Posters waved. Fans screamed. The sound vibrated all the way down her spine. Let's go, Coco. This is your moment. But behind all that noise was the quiet truth she carried with her. She had lost to Sabalenka before. She had been pushed to her limits by Sabalenka's power. She had tasted defeat, frustration, heartbreak. But today she felt different. The whispers of past failures felt distant. Her legs felt lighter. Her hands steadier. Her heart steadier, stronger. She had grown. She had evolved. She had sharpened. This wasn't the teenage Coco who shocked the world at Wimbledon. This was the Coco who had clawed her way to championships, carried nations of fans on her back, and turned pressure into fuel. Tonight, she wasn't here to survive. She was here to win. The queen arrives. And then came Sabalenka. The ground trembled beneath her steps, metaphorically, but also just enough that fans swore they could feel it. The Belarusian powerhouse emerged like a queen returning to her battlefield. Determined, intense, terrifying. Sabalenka didn't smile. Not once. Her eyes locked onto Coco like a predator reading prey. She had watched Coco rise. She had watched Coco win hearts. And she respected Coco deeply, but she wasn't here for friendship. She wasn't here to applaud. She was here to defend her throne. World number one is a number. It's a command, a challenge, a warning to every challenger. Step up if you dare. Coco dared. The war begins. The first ball tossed into the night sky felt like the opening shot of revolution. Boom! Sabalenka unleashed a serve at 120 miles per hour. Coco barely caught it, returning with precision. Rally after rally. The ball became a flame streaking across the court. Sabalenka's heavy artillery met Coco's lightning-fast defense. Coco's angles met Sabalenka's brute force. The court shrank with every strike, as if the universe itself was leaning in to watch. Each point felt like a battle within a battle. Coco's heart pounded. Sabalenka's roar echoed. The crowd alternated between gasps and cheers. This wasn't tennis. This was a war of wills, a moment of silence. At 4-4, with sweat dripping from their brows, a hush fell. The rally lasted 27 shots. Sabalenka hammered. Coco carved. Sabalenka roared. Coco sprinted, sliding, spinning, stretching. Finally, Coco struck a passing shot so breathtaking that the arena froze. Sabalenka didn't move. The ball flew past her like a shooting star. The line judge whispered. The stadium exploded. Coco raised her fist and screamed. She could feel it, momentum, belief, destiny shifting. Sabalenka clenched her jaw. Her eyes narrowed. She wasn't angry at Coco. She respected the fire, but she hated losing. Sabalenka strikes back. Just when the crowd thought the tide had turned, Sabalenka unleashed a level of ferocity only she possessed. 3 aces, 2 monstrous forehands, a return winner that sent Coco stumbling. Sabalenka held serve in 90 seconds. Her message? I'm still the queen. Coco breathed deeply. She steadied her grip. She reminded herself, champions don't run from storms. They become storms. The turning point. At 5-6, serving to stay in the set, Coco faced break point. Millions of fans around the world stopped breathing. She bounced the ball once, twice, 3 times. Her heart pounded so loudly she thought the microphone might pick it up. She served. Sabalenka attacked. Coco defended. The rally stretched like eternity, until Coco performed the impossible. A forehand down the line while sliding sideways, defying gravity itself. The ball clipped the line. Sabalenka slapped her thigh in frustration. Coco just smiled. She knew. The universe was whispering her name tonight. Coco unleashed. With the set now tied 6-6, the tiebreaker became the crucible of champions. And Coco transformed. She played with wild courage, backhand winners, sneaky drop shots, a serve that sizzled, defense so elastic she seemed to teleport. A 5-1 lead emerged, then 6-2, then 7-2. Coco took the first set. The arena shook. The world shook. Sabalenka stayed cold. She didn't fear set losses. She feared doubt, and now doubt was creeping in. The rise of the fighter. Sabalenka came into the second set, swinging like a warrior, defending the final gate of her kingdom. But Coco had tasted something intoxicating. Control. She wasn't just reacting anymore. She dictated. She dominated. She danced with the ball. Every time Sabalenka thought she had her cornered, Coco slipped away like water through fingers. Every time Sabalenka roared, Coco answered with silence. The silence of focus, of poise, of mastery. It drove Sabalenka crazy. The world number 1 had fought many battles. But this wasn't the Coco from last year. This Coco was sculpted from steel and fire. The final blow, serving for the match at 5-3. Coco's hands trembled, but with excitement, not fear. Sabalenka looked ready to break her in half. But Coco had one weapon left. Courage. She tossed the ball. Served wide. Ace. The crowd went wild. Second point. A brutal rally. Ended with a Gauff backhand that felt like thunder wrapped in silk. 30-0. Sabalenka growled. Her eyes burned. But Coco was unstoppable. At match point, she delivered a cross-court forehand, so ruthless the crowd gasped. Sabalenka dove. She touched the ball, but it died in the net. Game. Set. Goof. The stadium rose to its feet. A roar of emotion, gratitude, pride. Coco dropped her racket and covered her face. She wasn't just a star anymore. She was a phenomenon, a force, a symbol. Tonight, she didn't just beat the world number 1. She proved she belonged among the greatest. The moment after victory, as Sabalenka approached the net, Coco wiped her tears. They hugged, not as rivals, but as warriors. Sabalenka whispered, "You earned this one." Coco nodded. She knew this wasn't the end. More battles would come. More titles. More heartbreaks. More victories. But tonight, she stood on top of the world. The crowd kept chanting, "Let's go." And Coco whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.